Is Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA right now?
To me, he is.
We got a whole 76 Frenchmen in the goddamn league. He's a rookie, looking like he's a 2-3-year-old player, looking like he's a guard.
This past playoffs were a bit different. There was no LeBron, no Steph, and no KD advancing into the second round. Something that has not happened in years, and this has many fans wondering, who's the face of the league in this day and age?
Because, you see, the league has always had a face, at least since the 1970s when the NBA was on the verge of irrelevance. But two players stepped in and brought the league back to life, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. You may have heard of them. Throughout the 80s, they dominated the NBA. By the time the 90s rolled around, someone by the name of Michael Jordan was overshadowing them, winning 3 titles, playing baseball, and then winning 3 more titles in a three-peat. In the 2000s, we had Kobe Bean Bryant and his partner in crime, Shaquille O'Neal. And after the duo split, it was LeBron's time to shine, making 8 straight finals appearances throughout the 2010s. That brings us to today, where the likes of LeBron, Steph, and KD are starting to pass the torch to the next face, but this time isn't so clear-cut. So this begs the question, who is the face of the league in this day and age? Join us in looking at the top candidates at being dubbed the face of the NBA.
First, let's start off with honorable mentions. John Morant, a flashy high-flying guard, was drafted with the 2nd pick in the 2019 NBA draft, and up until 2023, he was looking really promising. That all changed with 2 gun incidents, which suspended him for half a season. This gave the league a bad rep and made it difficult to market off of him.
It was all good though, because when he came back on December 19th, he dominated, hitting a game winner versus the Pelicans. But that was short-lived, when he got surgery, missing the whole second half of the season. As amazing as he is, he's already missed 2 of his 5 seasons.
Next, let's get Jaylen Brown out of the way. Jaylen was the 3rd pick in the 2016 NBA draft and has gotten deep into the playoffs many times, even winning the past championship. But already being in his late 20s and not having a sneaker deal, he's too old and not marketable. There's no doubt that he's a great player, but it takes more than that.
The thing that really makes a player different is what they are known for. To be fair, Jaylen Brown has always been looked at as Jason Tatum's sidekick. Winning a chip is a huge accolade, but being the face of the league takes more than that. Being, quote, the other star doesn't make the cut.
And lastly, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. All are dominant players, but are not flashy by any means. Yes, Jokic could have a few crazy passes, but the fans like ferocious dunks. Embiid can't make it too far in the playoffs, and Giannis is getting old.
Okay, let's get into our candidates.
Shai just lulls the defense to sleep, and then attacks.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has become one of the young stars that showcase this league. His ability to score so effortlessly is incredible, especially since he turned 26 just 6 days ago. During the past 5 years, OKC has seen his true potential, as they have built a young core around him. Each and every year, they seem to always make it farther and farther in the playoffs. Just last year, they lost in the second round to the Dallas Mavericks.
This was the farthest OKC has been in the playoffs since the Russell Westbrook tenure. However, SGA has wanted this more than ever. With pressure on his back, he has continued to improve and exceed everybody's standards. Recently, he has decided to represent his hometown, joining forces with former AAU teammates Dillon Brooks and Jamal Murray in the Canadian national team.
Being the leader of his country for the Olympics does take commitment and dedication. He may be 26, but his work ethic is what stands out. Once OKC really becomes a legit NBA Finals contender is when SGA will really make his mark in the NBA.
Next up, we have Anthony Edwards. Last season, he was the player to watch. We all knew at the beginning of the season he would be great, but comparisons to Michael Jordan is more than great. Being the first pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Wolves were essentially relying on him to be the face of the team, and it didn't take that long to meet those expectations.
During his rookie year, he showed confidence in his ability to finish around the rim. Now that he has had time to truly experience what it's like to lead a team, he's been able to continuously surprise the league. Just last season, he was able to lead his team to the Western Conference Finals, where they unfortunately lost to the Mavs. However, Ant got some quality playoff experience, only making him even more scarier. We will all have to keep an eye out on him with the upcoming season, because he could be an all-out star. Now it all comes down to the final 2 players. We will start with the Slovenian prodigy, Luka Dončić.
Dončić maneuvers for the lead.
Luka is no short of brilliance. Luka has changed the way basketball has been played as he has developed the mindset of pass first. His ability to find teammates in an unprecedented way makes the defender look foolish, kind of like his European brother, Nikola Jokic. The Mavs clearly showed the league that they are true finals contenders, making it all the way to the NBA Finals last season.
With all the acquisitions done at the trade deadline, Luka and Kyrie were surrounded by a pool of talented veterans and role players. This, of course, was enough to beat SGA and Anthony Edwards, who we both just talked about. Many people were excited excited to see what Luka would do in the offseason, especially since he would be participating in the 2024 Paris Olympics representing Slovenia.
Unfortunately, they got knocked out by Greece in the qualifier. The Western Conference is going to be loaded this year, and we can't wait to see how Luka performs.
Last but certainly not least, Victor Wembanyama. Victor is coming into his second year and is showing that he will not disappoint. You see, Victor is one of the most hyped prospects since LeBron. Being 7'5", who can handle and shoot the ball pretty well, at least for someone that tall, is extremely rare. Last year he had a bunch of pressure, and I guess you could say he played alright. Yes, he was the primal player for the Spurs, but that doesn't take too much to accomplish.
Unfortunately, they didn't get too close to making the playoffs. However, it certainly wasn't Wemby's fault. It's not hard to see that the Spurs don't have too many good players, and that probably is the reason that they have struggled to perform well. Victor, though, has been putting a bunch of work this offseason. There have been some league gym footage, and it doesn't take binoculars to see that he's grown some muscle.
He is in fact representing France in the Olympics and joining his 7-foot brother Rudy Gobert. In their showcase game, they have definitely shown dominance. Wemby is clearly the center of attention next season. All of these players may not reach GOAT status, but all are special in many ways. There are a lot of young candidates for this prestigious label. It's hard to decide which player truly represents the face of the game. All players have their own abilities and talents which make them different. Comment down below who you think deserves the accolade, the face of the league.